Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Range podcast with Hogg Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host and friend from Warhog.com, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Just want to thank you, the viewer listener, for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. Guys, we couldn't do it without your support. So why are we here at the studio at Panteo? So we've had Bill on the show before with CanCon.
We literally put them in boxes last week for the
Okay.
first time.
All right.
When we say new, we're telling you new. Right now.
Awesome. Good for you guys.
Oh, I forgot one thing.
We've faced some issues as far as YouTube pulling his video down, so we want to make sure we get a little more in-depth into the products. Of course, always on OnTheRangePodcast.com or Make Ready TV. They're always there. We'll make an attempt to put it out on YouTube, but we always can't guarantee. But we've got some great products here from PTR. Bill, welcome back to the show. You were a fantastic...
Two-time offender.
Two-time offender. You were a fantastic guest last time. Last time you only brought one item. This time, we're stacked.
The toys are out.
Yes.
You know, PTR's back in the house.
You are literally back. You got the house loaded.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, PTR's been doing all sorts of fun things, and this year is going to be an exceptional one for
Okay.
us. We're excited to walk you through and to show and tell.
Yeah. So what do we got? So I know, let's pick the viewers up a little bit.
Okay.
So last year, you had talked about, I believe we called it the Triple Lindy coming out. Maybe that was the word. So I don't know if you want to start there just to let the viewers, listeners who potentially don't know what the Triple Lindy is, a little more insight into that one.
Let's tiptoe up to that. That's
Okay.
kind of the cherry on top.
I love it.
Let's make sure they understand who PTR is,
Okay.
first of all, and why we're so good at getting them to the Triple Lindy.
Love it.
Okay?
All right.
So PTR started back, almost like 24 years ago,
Okay.
making the G3 rifle. 100% American-made, lifetime warranty. Old school legacy battle rifle. So when you hear me use the term legacy, it's really what I'm referring to are the roots of where PTR formed itself, okay? And again, we're South Carolina, Palmetto State,
Heck yeah.
and we're damn proud of it, all right? But
love
we're
it.
bringing that care out to you guys too. Now, we went from there to the 9mm. The world knows them as MP5s. We call them CTs, as in Charlie Tom. But they're true, again, American-made, lifetime warranty, 9mm that are as close to specification as anybody has ever made within the United States. Okay? And, from there, we started playing in some other calibers, and we'll get into that. That's going to be a little bit later in 2026 for us. We've got a 5.56 coming out. We are reintroducing the 7.62 by 39 variation, so we're really expanding the legacy line. Then we started playing in the suppressor world. And we're not just playing, we captured the suppressor world. And what I mean by that is, for 3 straight years, we've had the #1 ranked all-round suppressor. That is the Vent 1 308. We now have the #2 ranked 9mm in the country. We have the #1 and #2 ranked 5.56 in the country.
Okay.
So we really kind of stood out as we're only going to release it if we believe it's the best of the best.
And that's fantastic. Not to cut you off, Bill, but you see a lot of companies putting products out there, and they kind of put the cart in front of the horse. So they throw something out to market. Oh, hey, we got to tweak some things, call it back, and they kind of go through this almost T&E process as they're putting the product out. So hats off to you guys for putting the product out.
Well, we do appreciate that, but at the same time, I've been doing this 26 years now in the industry, and the one big lesson I always learned was the major problem most gun companies have in our industry is they decide to make something and then spend all the money they can convincing people that they need to buy it, instead of listening to what the people want and giving it to them. So they wanted revolutionary. They wanted 21st century when it came to the suppressor. Well, nowadays we can do things. I mean, this is damn near Star Trek 10 years ago, okay? We are literally 3D printing geometries that you could never machine. It could not exist without the power of the 3D printer. I mean, it is really that cool. Revolutionary coatings that even help it go beyond its traditional designs as well.
So just looking at the suppressors real quick. So versus being a standard tube, you guys have some texturing on there. Did you guys do some research on there and go, hey, if we had this added texturing to help with our cooling process?
Okay, so there's aerodynamics, of course, that are involved there. Fluid dynamics is the better term for it. And you see that wavy texture. That's increasing the surface area.
Yep.
Titanium is incredibly efficient at absorbing heat. It's equally as efficient at releasing it. But what we've done is we thought this truly through, because we're capturing the better part of 36,000 PSI
Yeah.
in a 9mm can
Yeah.
here. So the wall thickness mirrors that shape inside and out. So we have a standard consistent wall thickness, even though the outside texture looks dimpled.
Okay. I like it.
I haven't seen or heard anybody explain it as well as you have. Are you not seeing that design out there?
I haven't cut open other guys' cans. They're putting cool textures
Yeah.
rather than efficient
Okay.
textures. That's what we've noticed so far.
That's amazing.
But what is revolutionary about the PTRs is what we call PIP, purposefully induced porosity. And that's what one of our primary patented processes that is being utilized here. I want you to think of it as 3D printed titanium foam.
Okay.
All right, so go back to the original suppressor. The very first one made was steel wool, wrapped and bound in baling wire, and you got a few shots out of it. It worked pretty darn well. Well, we're able to make that out of titanium, or in this case, Inconel. First of all, think about Inconel. If we're trying to machine that out of a bar stock of Inconel, that would cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Just in the bits we'd consume up and the amount of time. All right, but that 3D printed titanium foam is absorbing all that heat. When you're taking that heat away from those gases, you're taking its energy away. Therefore, it's losing its velocity as well when we take that energy away. And then release it into the atmosphere as the can cools back down.
Yeah.
They cool down really fast. Okay? So you get the traditional baffle stack that's inside there, but this, again, is special to us, is the monolithic print.
Okay.
This is printed as a single piece, so they are incredibly strong. They're reinforcing each other from the inside and the outside in the web of its design. And we just didn't take a single design and change the board geometries. Every pressure wave is unique that we're dealing with. So the inside of every one of our cans is unique to that pressure wave. That's why we're so darn good at what we're doing there. So now I've told you about the legacy. I've told you about our cool new suppressors. Now we get to the triple Indy.
Okay, well, I want to pause you on one thing. Let's hit on the suppressors real quick. So when we look at the suppressor market, we've got numerous different options as far as attaching. We can go direct thread.
Okay.
How are you guys? Are you a direct thread only? Can you use some other people's?
We ship everything out the door as a direct thread.
Okay.
If it's the 1/2 by 28, if it's the 5/8 by 24, those are the options typically. But they're all hub compatible.
Okay.
So we're hub Bravos on the Vent 2, 3, and the Spiritus. Oh, pardon me, the 1, 3, and Spiritus. We are hub Bravo on the Vent 2.
Okay.
Okay, so any of the accessories that are hub compatible go right onto these cans.
Perfect.
Wow. And what's the response to that? Are you selling a lot of those standalone?
Oh, that's all we sell,
Okay.
typically, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I mean, like you said, it's just leaps and bounds over the last few years. And the fact that the surface area, you're able to get that from those patterns and make it functional so that it actually does something as well is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, and you may not have been as exposed. Each of you, grab one of these real quick. Look down the nose, and hopefully we can get this information out to the viewers here. Look at the nose of this thing. I want you to see why we call it the vent as well. You see each of these active vents? That
Yes.
is pulling gas from a different location within the can and channeling it out that vent. We're venting out the entire face of the can, not just the bore.
Yeah.
So all of that gas, you get that shh at the end.
So the beauty is from the shooter standpoint, now you're not eating that gas
Right.
back in your face, which we've all been there before, where you're sitting there going, this is just becoming horrible to shoot because I'm eating so much gas.
All those
back in the
gases are
face."
moving forward,
Right.
Beautiful. That is
away from the shooter.
nice.
To such an extreme, if you have an adjustable gas block on your AR and you put our can on there, you do not adjust your gas block.
Beautiful.
So you run the gun the way you have it set up, suppressed or unsuppressed. We don't need you to change it.
Nice. Very cool.
Awesome. Let's get to. We've taken the long way around the barn here. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Well, I mean, this is the creme de la creme. This is our cherry on top. This is our identifying product at this point in time because it is our legacy. It is our suppressors. It is what PTR has become all in one package now. This is the 9 SDM, and it comes in either an Alpha or a Bravo model. We're showing you the Bravo model here right now.
Okay.
It is, they refer to it as the Triple Lindy. It is a 3 tax stamp gun. Now, this made no sense when the taxes were $200 per stamp. That's $600 worth of additional tax.
Yeah.
Well, now that that tax is a goose egg, it made sense to bring out. And it just so happens we were already full-fledged running forward without even knowing the tax stamp was going to run away because, again, what did we do? We listened to what people were asking for. They would sit down with us. They would say, could you make us this? And there it is. Now, what's so special about ours? Where is the third tax stamp? That's what we have to figure out. The game of Where's Waldo, right? We can see it's an SPR.
Yep.
So there's number 1.
Yep.
We can obviously there's a suppressor up here. There's number 2.
Yep.
Number 3. Number 3 is right here. And I'm going to pull this off, guys. This is a first stage suppressor. This is a second stage suppressor. There are 2 suppressors on this. Now, this is truly an integrally suppressed firearm as well. And we'll get to really what that means and how we took it to the next level.
Okay.
So this is the 9SDM, and I may have left that part out before. M is for modernized.
Okay.
We've taken the true original SD and brought it again to the 21st century. We are very comfortable in saying we are 10 decibels below the original design.
Wow.
That's quiet, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's how you get to the Alpha and the Bravo.
Okay.
Suppressor number 1 is threaded in both Alpha and Bravo hub. This can accept either our Vent 2 or our dedicated SDM can. Why I say dedicated, you could use it on other platforms, but we perfected it for this platform.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
Whereas the Vent 2 is going to be really good on this platform and really good on other platforms.
Okay.
So you get that modularity that an SD's never been able to give you before.
No, because you've either had one or the other.
Yeah,
right?
you had a dedicated can and you could use it on that gun. Now we're giving you the ability to unscrew your can and use it on your other platforms too.
Huge.
You know, you can use it on your Henry 38 lever action. You can use it on your CT. You can use it on, your handgun. You can use it on a lot of other things that you've got back home already in your arsenal.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got blast chamber number 1.
Okay.
You've got the 2 suppressors. You got the SD or the SPR. Here, let's go over this, guys. You've all seen the ported barrels, right? And they're traditionally straight ports that are coming in. Prone to fouling. Because of that, they're round. They're drill holes. We made long slots. If you can take a look at those long slots that are on there. Well, they're not just in there. Do you notice they've got a curvature to them?
They do.
Yeah.
We perfectly timed those with the troughs of the rifling. So they're at the low points of the rifling. Again, making it far less prone to fouling. And inherently, a pain in the butt with an SD was cleaning it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay? So now you can pull the suppressor out of there. You can put the Allen wrench up inside. You can pull the entire handguard off. And now that your slots, instead of trying to get in with a pick, a nice wire brush can clean those ports out super easy. Now, that's the very first thing that the owners of these have called and thanked us for. Finally, you gave us one that we can clean.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because that used to be the biggest drama, in the past is having one of those with the old design, was trying to clean that thing out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like near impossible.
Sure.
So you kind of hope for the best and yeah.
Well, the big benefit of this very platform and why the integral suppression is there is we're taking supersonic duty ammunition, 124 grain NATO rounds, and we're forcing them in suppressor number 1 to subsonic. And then running those gases and the projectile through suppressor number 2. Now you get no downrange crack.
Yeah.
You literally only hear the action moving. I cannot believe you could suppress a 9mm any further. It's the sound of the action now. I don't know how to make that any quieter.
No.
So I guess once the point you rubberize the action so there's no clanking going on, I don't know.
I'm just not a fan of consumables.
Yeah.
So could we put a buffer system in there or something? Yes, but that is going to consume itself.
Yep.
And at some point, it's going to fail. Yeah. Well, we take it very seriously that our product is that reliable. I mean, we're based on a battle rifle, for goodness sakes. Reliability is everything. So if we can keep consumables out and that gun goes bang every time you need it to defend your home and your family, that's the goal. That's what we're giving you.
Dude, that's awesome.
Okay. Now, since we just touched on defending your home and your family, the other new toy that we came out with is sitting over here in front of you.
This one?
That is the jack. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Just that sound alone. Right there. Does that sound alone not make the boogeyman run back out the door that he's not supposed to be in?
If he's smart.
If he's smart.
Yeah.
Now, for home defense, you've heard people say it. Some of them we like, some of them we don't like. There's nothing better than a 12 gauge for home defense. And there are actually multiple reasons for that. You have to be careful with overpenetration. Rifle rounds, not safe in your home. You have to be very aware of where your family members are. Where did your daughter run to? What room is she in? Where are your neighbors? Is it going to go through your wall and get to them? A 12 gauge doesn't going to give you that overpenetration.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, Bill, and I want to kind of pause there because I think it's important for the viewers, listeners, as we're kind of going through this. Bill's bringing up great points that have you thought about that plan? God forbid somebody makes a forcible entry inside your home. What's your plan for the family? Are the kids going to hunker in place? Are you separated from the kids? Are you upstairs? The kids are downstairs. I mean, 1,000 different variables in American homes. But thank you for bringing that up because that's critical. Let's have the discussions now. God forbid we don't want to figure it out the day of and at least have a plan. Like you're saying, hey, there's the front door. Okay. Hey, I got 3 neighbors, depending on which angle I get set up on, that potentially I could have projectiles.
And I urge everybody to think about this, not just, I get asked all the time, what kind of gun should I buy? Well, a mechanic just doesn't use a hammer to fix everything on a car. He has a toolbox.
Yeah.
What are you going to use it for? And if the answer comes back to, well, I want it for home defense. Okay, we have to go down this long rabbit hole. One, to figure out the right platform. But I took the time to actually train for home defense. A lot of people just think training is training. Well, it's not. We're not police officers. We're not military operatives. I don't get to yell, freeze. That's not my job. My gun pulls out. It's because I'm deciding to put a hole in a human being. And if you cannot make that decision instantly, then don't have a firearm. Don't carry it. It'll be taken from you, be used against you. You will hesitate. You hesitate, you die. So those have to be pre-decided in advance. The same with home defense. Don't turn on your lights. You know where the surroundings are. You know where that coffee table is in the dark room. You know where that dark spot doesn't belong without turning on the lights. They don't. Now, you know what sounds. You know everything already. So I have always picked locations I would go to. We call them, in training, corridors of death, doorways, hallways. Where can I wait for the intruder to come to me? But remember, guys, your number one goal is to stay alive. If you can just leave, leave. It's not your job to engage unless your loved one is on the other side of that problem, and you've got to defend him.
Yep.
So you should pre-decide, where are you going in your home? Where's the spot you can go to defend your home? And some houses that's a complex question.
It's a complex question, and then when you put children involved, hey, how far are they co-located or not co-located? Are they geographically separated? Now what am I doing?
Yeah. Are they on opposite sides of the house, or are they down a hallway where you can just monitor that hallway?
That's it.
And you have to work with them as well. So if you can train as a family, I'll give a plug. Where our families train, WAFT in Florida, I think is a phenomenal facility, but they teach you to train as a family unit.
That's awesome.
And I'm not talking about the Tycos packing blades and guns and stuff like that, but they're there with you while you're training so they understand why you're doing what you're doing. And when you yell stop, they don't question why. They've now been trained to follow that command. You know, it could be that simple.
Yeah. No, I mean,
You know?
all great points. All great points.
So, but we digressed a little tiny bit. But I think it's important because it really comes down to the core of our beliefs that we care, we're passionate, and we want to provide you guys with the absolute best that we can.
Absolutely.
And the jack is the best thing I could think of for home defense. You don't have to be a great shot. You point in the general direction of the bad guy that doesn't belong there, you're going to win, they're going to lose. Hey, look at a 12 gauge in that length of barrel.
Yeah.
That's going to be a ball about yay big real soon.
What is the spread on this at, 10, 15 yards?
Oh, you're probably 15, 18 inches at that point in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Very nice.
And then you got a variant to this as well.
So originally we released the jack as an AOW because that was a $5 tax stamp.
Okay.
So very affordable. When the tax stamp went away, well, it made sense. Why not go for the big kahuna?
Yeah.
And that is the SBS version. So now it truly is a sawed-off shotgun, but we ship it with the pistol grip that comes on the jack. Because legally, you can turn an SBS into an AOW, but you cannot turn an AOW into an SBS without reforming it.
Right.
So we're selling them now as, for the states that aren't allowed SBSs, we still manufacture the AOW, mind you. But for everybody else, we're making the SBS and giving you the ability to go with the double pistol grip or the mini stock.
Okay.
Okay, and again, the classic does all the work for you.
That's it.
Okay?
I love it.
It's a 2+1, but we give you a side saddle for 5 more on the side.
Okay.
So everything you should need to defend that home, clear the area. All right?
Just get out there working on your reloads if you need to.
Yep.
Alrighty, guys, we got one more toy that we're going to show at this
Let's
point
see
in
it.
time. You ready?
Yep.
We teamed up with 2 other great companies in our industry. So PTR teamed up with both Magpul and Timney Triggers to bring you our brand new, we call it the Magpul edition. So it is RCT, it's our 9mm. You all know it as the MP5 style. But it's got the Magpul handguard, the Magpul trigger housing, and it ships ambidextrous, so you can go either direction there. You can get it in both an SBR with the collapsing stock or the collapsing brace. So it's available both ways. You can also get it with either our 30-round sticks or the 50-round drum.
Okay.
And then the beauty of this one is, again, we teamed up with Timney. This one has the 2.5-pound 2-stage trigger in it.
Okay.
So silky smooth. It's combining all 3 companies into one package, and the world's loving it.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed too, Bill, just sitting here. So the nice thing is, I know one thing that was always a struggle was trying to get that thumb on that selector.
Yep.
And I can sit there, and now I don't have welded parts. I can easily reach that selector, work it. That's
And because it ships with the ambi parts, you can do it on either side, too.
no, that's beautiful right there. So super excited about getting that one out there.
Yeah, this would definitely be marketed to those folks who are looking for that traditional, old school look, and I think it's awesome. And that's the first thing that pops out to me. Now it looks like this is a little bit. They reached that out a little bit towards the rear, so people. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day we were sitting there, whether it was putting different pieces of metal on there to try to get some type of extension because the original design you just couldn't get.
Yeah,
your
you just
thumb.
couldn't get it
It was
up
a
there.
struggle.
Yeah.
And anytime you're doing anything ergonomically better, too easy.
Yeah.
And, remember everybody, of course, it is a Christmas movie.
Oh man, unbelievable.
On the website, too, by the way, you can buy the stands.
Awesome.
Yeah. Are we gonna get to shoot that one too?
Absolutely.
All right, Roger that.
Absolutely. They're all here to play and touch.
I love it.
Yeah. So I tell you what, I know we're going to go out to the range, and we're gonna do some shooting and check these things out. I'm super excited about hearing what this device that you guys have come up with, which is, it sounds like it's going to be very, very quiet.
We're
I
going to
just
take you
can't
down
wait.
2 paths out on the range. We're going to walk you through the beginning once again, and we're going to show you the big battle rifle. Then we're going to suppress that battle rifle, and then we're going to isolate the suppressor so you can see how amazing just it is.
Nice.
And then, of course, we'll let you play with our cherry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Why wouldn't you?
I'm never
right?
going to say no to that. So
So before we head out the range, Bill, where can people find out more about PTR?
PTR-US.com all day long. PTR Firearms will find us, but we try to put everything we can out there. Instagram, Facebook. We are here to answer your questions anytime we can. We're at CanCon 2026 here in South Carolina. You can come visit us there too.
So let's do this, Bill. Let's pack everything up. Let's roll out to the range. Let's give these things a run. And I'm super excited to, from the classic all the way down the line. So
You got it. You'll need some ears here. You'll need no ears over here.
I can't wait.
All right, let's go.
All right,
let's do it. All right, everyone, welcome back to On the Range podcast. On the Range, we got all of PTR stuff on the table, and we're going to start going through that. What do you think about this, Rick?
Dude, this is awesome. So this is what we've talked about, is really bringing on the range. Again, Bill, thanks for you, PTR, for doing that for us. So what do we got? What's kind of the first, how are we going to work this lineage
Yeah,
of
we're going to walk
blasters?
you through the trilogy here. Now, everything on the 308 side, you're going to be shooting full strength M80 ball.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start with the traditional G3. You're going to understand just how powerful and loud that 308 round is. Now we're going to go into really the exact same gun. You see the color difference? That's all we're talking here, the GI versus the A3S. Color difference only. You're going to see now the suppressed version of that rifle. And then we're going to cap it all off by using that same Vent 1 suppressor on a bolt action so that we're taking all the sound of the action out of play and you can hear the can itself.
Love it.
Okay?
All right.
Eyes and ears.
Eyes and ears. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Old Faithful. Here we go. All righty.
Dude, let's just talk about this for 1 second, Rick.
Yeah, bud.
I love the way this looks. You get that nostalgia, you know what I mean? Even the magazines. It's just old school stuff. I love it, man. It
Well,
sounds
everything
good too.
green that you're looking at here, guys, is truly surplus authentic furniture from the 60s, 70s, or 80s that we're putting on.
Yeah.
So we're using a park-only finish, but the entire heart of this gun is brand spanking new, made by PTR here in the U.S.
She runs like a champ.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I remember being down south, watching these poor guys wearing a $120, and this gun would just beat them to death.
It's one of the 3 main battle rifles for a reason.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. All right, buddy.
All right, let's go ahead and try this out. Yep.
Now, what a difference, huh?
Yeah.
That concussion wave doesn't exist anymore. You've gotten to the point of being hearing safe, even with a 308, where that original 308 was ready to rattle your teeth.
Yeah. Mark, what'd you think of the, how was the recoil on that?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I jerked a little bit because I thought it was going to be more, but it was real nice.
Yeah.
Real nice, big time.
And that's one of the pros too, at least from my standpoint, Bill, is you start putting a suppressor on, you start reducing.
That felt
yeah.
recoil dramatically plummets.
It really
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that jet of gas has been slowed down, so you don't have that rocket pushing back at you anymore.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to run just the bolt action.
You're going to run the bolt action, the same M80 ball, and this time I'm taking my ears out. That's how
Okay.
quiet it's going to be.
Well, if you're taking your ears out, I'm taking mine out, right? All right, so here we go.
Same ammunition, same suppressor, but we've taken the sound of the action out of play now.
Here we go. Woo, dog.
Holy crap.
Mark, I'm going to leave this one for you.
Okay. Oh, man.
That is, man.
Uh-huh. Now, you couple that with a subsonic round, and everybody around you is going to think that you've misfired.
Oh, big time.
That is spot on. But I like that demo, right? I mean, we got, I'm going to say loud and proud, and we got suppressed, and then that thing truly shows the capability. So,
Yeah, we're showing you the Vent 1 in its raw, fullest form. Okay.
very cool.
All right, let's get you on the 9mm first. We're going to start with the mag pull. These are firing subsonic rounds.
Okay. And this also has the Timney trigger.
The Timney 2.5 pound 2-stage
Woo!
and the Vent 2 suppressor.
All right. I like it. And that selector, man, my
Dude,
thumb just got, like, when I got on the G3, I'm struggling for it. This
Yeah.
one here, it's right here, so nice. So let's just go off the steel for a second. Really?
You're hearing the thump of the round, really.
Yeah, you're still hearing it. Yeah.
Again, you're hearing the clack
Yeah.
of the action.
I mean, you can hear that distinct. That's impressive right
Yeah.
there.
Want to do a couple more, buddy?
Oh, heck yeah. I'm halfway tempted to sit there and
I mean,
just...
because I'm used to not be able to hit that selector switch. Yeah.
I like it, Bill.
Yep.
That's a sweet blaster right there.
All right, as you call her, the Triple Lindy is going to be next.
Woo!
The 9 SDM Bravo is what you're going to be shooting now. Now we're taking you back up to supersonic rounds that we're going to force subsonic.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
You want to run it first? Man,
That is quiet.
that's an interesting. You want to finish it off,
No,
buddy?
go ahead, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, don't have to
Don't
say
tempt me with a good time. I just sit there and that sound is just.
that is.
Now,
So
you guys weren't paying
quiet.
attention, but you guys can probably go back and watch that ejection pattern you just saw out of that gun. Everything was a rainbow coming
Yep.
right out
Yeah.
of her.
No, that's nice, man. And again, it's not. You've got some blasters out there. Hey, man, this thing's heated up. I'm like, huh, where's my glove?
No.
Nope.
Yep. Perfect, man. Beautiful.
And
that-
you attribute that to some of the venting and
Yeah, we're taking a lot of that gas out.
yeah.
You know, we're taking it out early on at that point in time. Now, the same transgression that we did over here, and we took you to hear just the can. We're going to do the same thing over here now. The Vent 2 suppressor, we've put on a 38 special lever action, so no moving parts. So let's get this loaded up. Let's listen to the Vent 2 at its pinnacle, okay? All right, there's one in the chamber, gents.
Okay.
There's 3 in the tube, so 2
All right.
each. Let's
All
hear
right.
what it sounds like.
Sounds good. And these, we're just going to send them in the berm because
So,
I
yeah,
want to
let's
hear
hear
the
it.
beautiness of this. Here we go. Oh, really? Come on, Bill.
I would say 80% of the people think the gun misfired.
Yeah.
It's that quiet.
100%.
This is, I mean, that's ridiculous.
That is crazy.
You're hearing the thump in the dirt
Yeah.
over the shot being fired.
Wow. That's impressive, man.
Yeah.
Buddy.
As the shooter, you can actually hear the firing pin spring rattling
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
gun.
Yes. Wow. That's about as quiet as I think you can get, like you were talking about earlier in the studio, buddy.
So in the studio, I also said the proof was in the pudding. How's my pudding, boys?
Delicious. Oh, man. Bill,
Oh. It's delicious. Oh. Well, I tell you what, it really is impressive because look, we've all been to CanCon, a lot of great stuff out there. And then there's that one that's going off, you're like, I thought this was a suppression.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, I'm the smart
range.
ass that looks out and says, do you need a suppressor for that?
Yes.
You know, I do that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
everybody. I do.
God love them. It's just that this is really impressive. And I tell you what, I don't think I've ever heard a couple of these last ones. I don't think I've ever heard something that quiet.
The first time I ever heard him, I was blown away by it.
Yeah.
And I like how we did the progression.
Yep.
Right. And
Smartly,
when you sit
yeah.
there and truly just go, hey, what is the can doing by itself? I mean, absolutely. Proof's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you see me have fun. I laugh and joke and do all these things, but in all seriousness, we're really, really proud of what we're making at PTR for y'all.
And proof's in the pudding.
And the proof is in the pudding.
Well, welcome back, everybody. From, it was just a fun time out there. Got to do a lot of stuff. Great job explaining it, man. It's a lot of fun and a lot of innovation going out there. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for taking your time to listen to our story.
Man,
Yeah,
what a
Bill,
blast.
appreciate it. I mean, there's nothing better than actually having a discussion, but then going out and actually blast them. So hats off to you guys.
Remember, the proof is always in the pudding.
Yes, sir.
For the rest of you out there, viewers and listeners, please swing by ontheRangePodcast.com. Also, if you like this content, check out the crew membership over at otrcrew.com because the show continues on the crew members page, Rick.
And for the rest of you guys, don't forget, train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.